More and more learning environments are transitioning from the traditional face-to-face class where learners can see their facilitators and see their classmates. They are moving to a learning environment that is online, where learners don't even know or haven't even seen their facilitator's face. The principle of UDL, Universal Design for Learning, allows course developers to plan lessons that will remove the hindrances to learning by planning with diversity in mind. I am Terrian Daly Robinson. I developed a module using UDL. This is my experience. Developing an instructional model using UDL requires time and effort, but the end result is rewarding for students, facilitators, and all other stakeholders. Course developers should plan online courses using the 3 tenets of UDL: multiple means of engagement, multiple means of representation, and multiple means of action and expression. I developed a course module entitled Computer Storage. The first step I took was putting myself in the student's shoe as in me. I thought about what my goals and objectives would be if I was a student taking this course. I thought about what I already knew about my learners. Studying in an online environment can be lonely and disengaging. I wanted the students to feel just as engaged as they would if they were in a face-to-face classroom. I looked at each tenet and determined what strategy I would employ under each tenet. Now, the tenet of engagement, multiple means of engagement. I started by planning a starting activity that would break down initial barriers and build relationships. This activity, entitled A Trip Down Storage Lane, is linked to the topic, but it allows students to reflect on their experiences and bring their experiences to the classroom, knowing that we are all connected in some ways. I also included feedback. Feedback is very important to engagement, and so a short feedback form was placed at the end of each subtopic. Mobile devices are everywhere, and so I included that in the lesson design. Students could scan a QR code to access their quizzes, and that is at the end of each subtopic. I included content related games, and I ended the lesson with an imagination station where students use current information to predict their inventions for the future. This allowed them to be engaged and they would want to do such activities. Multiple means of representation. Now, content was presented in notes and written form, videos, podcasts, tables, journals, graphics. Multiple means of action and expression. Now, how would students demonstrate their learning? In my course, students got graded and non-graded activities. While the teacher can still view the students' results from the non-graded activities, it informs learning without judgment. So students don't have the pressure of a graded activity, and so they can monitor their own growth and development. I use discussions, vlogs, blogs, infographics, quizzes, and games to test and measure students' learning. Peer-to-peer feedback is also very important, and so that was included in the course. The UDL principles allow the facilitator to be creative in lesson delivery and assessment. I thought of many strategies that could be integrated, but I decided to ensure that my learners do not suffer from content or technology overload, so I had to choose very carefully and make wise decisions. And I had to make these decisions with my students in mind. I wanted to make sure that my learning environment was authentic. So my learning environment should move from just teacher-centered to learner-centered, move from instructivist to constructivist, applying engaging activities throughout all phases of the design process, and of course using multiple means of representation, multiple means of action and expression and engagement will be the string that ties everything together.